Hello, this is Nigel from Importing Riches with another tutorial, and today I'm going to talk to you about why sellers fail on eBay. My Importing Riches video e-course does focus on getting the actual products, but there's a process that you go through before you actually import the product, and that depends on where you're going to sell it. Okay, you just don't go out there, import any product that you like, and then sell it offline or sell it on eBay and then expect to make, tens and thousands of dollars. Okay, it just doesn't happen that way. I actually started on eBay, and I was a platinum seller on eBay. I got off eBay for a number of reasons, which I won't go into, but basically, I just wasn't happy with the fees they were charging, and then I decided to take my business offline because it would cost me less in advertising, and I could build a real customer base instead of just deal with eBay sellers. Don't get me wrong, eBay is a great place to start, but the mindset and the type of buyers on a whole on eBay are people that complain a lot and they want everything for nothing. Okay, now you'll still get your serious buyers that will pay full price and you never hear from them again, but I can tell you now from experience, there are more people that complain and want everything. Like, they'll email you within a day and say, where's my stuff, it hasn't arrived. Okay, so use eBay as eBay, use it as a starting platform, but definitely if you really want to grow your business to the next level and really build a solid foundation, you need to do that offline, or you need to use other online methods to get long-term repeat customers. Now, when you're starting on eBay, the reason why a lot of people fail on eBay is because they don't do their market research. Like I said, they go out and see a product they think that might sell, they go out and import it, or they find a supplier in China, then they whack it on eBay, and then they hope for the best. You're gonna fail if you do that. When you're looking on eBay, you have to first do your research on eBay. You have to find out who are your competitors. You have to analyze their auctions and what they're selling. Then you put that all in the spreadsheet, and you might have, say, the top 5 sellers that are selling a particular product that you know is hot in the market at the moment, and then you go and then source that. You have to first find out and analyze whether the competition on eBay is worth you getting on started to invest in that product. So if you can still sell a lot of stuff on eBay even if there's a lot of sellers on it. Okay, and there's a whole bunch of strategies into eBay. I could go on for hours and hours of eBay. I'm very experienced in eBay, even though I hate it. But the thing with eBay is you just have to really study your competition in eBay to find whether there is a hole or a gap in your local market. If you're trying to compete, especially when you're first starting off, if you're trying to compete with big item sellers that spend that $100,000 to $500,000, that's the sort of product they're moving a month through eBay, and you come along with your $1,000 and you're trying to compete with them, it's not going to happen. One, you're just going to get blown out of the water. People are not going to trust you because your eBay profile is only new. They would have tens and thousands of sellers. They would have very professional looking store, yada yada yada. So to compete with these guys you have to actually dig in deeper and find a product that you can still sell it and make a profit on. And there are different strategies to do that. One way to do it is to sell locally, even though you're selling nationally. Now let me explain that. Someone will come along and just say, for example, I live in Australia, so someone types in eBay Australia and looks for a set of headphones, and then they see it in a whole bunch of listings of 10 different listings of the exact model they want. So then they go through all the different sellers to find out which is the cheapest. If it's just a buy now, you can just they'll just buy now. They don't want to wait, and then they'll just pick the cheapest one. But the thing is, if that buyer is in your state, there's a higher percentage that they will buy off you. I mean, even if you're a little bit dearer by 5 or 10%, they will still buy off you. See, so you can still compete on that level. Even if there's another seller that sells tens and thousands of items and is more trusted. And this is how you do it. You offer like a pickup service. So you have to have face-to-face contact with the customer. And that's the only sort of downside to it, but it's probably a good thing. When I first started, I used to get a lot of people actually buying stuff off eBay and then coming to my home. I mean, I didn't have a premises, or I didn't have a business warehouse or anything like that at the time. I was just starting out, so I gave people my home address so then they could organize a time and then come pick up the product. I mean, I didn't want them coming at 7 o'clock at night unless I'd already pre-arranged with the client. And if that customer actually bought a lot of stuff off me, then I would say look, come at 7 o'clock or whatever time. If they knocked off work, they could come after work and pick it up from my place. But one thing I'd never do is I'd never show them all the stock I had. Okay, never do that. If you allow shipping, never show them all the stock that you have. Don't bring them into your garage or where you have all your stuff and say thanks very much, and then they can see what you've got. Because I'm not saying that they're going to come and steal all your stuff, but once I see what you've got in your house, you just don't want that to happen. So that's the way you can compete on. You can still compete on where you're local, and because there's so many dodgy people on eBay, not all of them, but there are some people that just sell stuff and inflate prices of shipping, and don't bother with customers when they want returns and things like that. When you're doing a local pickup and you're offering them a pickup service, you're just giving yourself a little bit more credibility, because the customer's going to come to you and then they can pay you in cash, and then they can see face to face. The downside to that is, if you're selling a dodgy product, which you shouldn't be anyway, but if you're selling a product that's got high returns, they will come back to your house. Okay, so that's why you should always, if you can, try to do it from like a warehouse or some sort of premises where they don't know where you live, because the last thing you want is people coming to your home at all hours of the night, abusing you and all that sort of stuff because they bought a $10 product off eBay. It's just ridiculous, but that's a type of mindset that eBay sellers have. So offer the local shipping. You might be a little bit dearer, or just have the same price as a platinum or like a Titan seller, but because you are offering the local shipping, you're supposed to compete on their level, and then they can come to you and pick it up. If you don't want them to go to your home, another alternative, which is cost a little bit of money, but it's not going to cost you tens and thousands, is hire a little shed at like a storage place, and you can get little sheds for as little as $50 or $100 a month, and you can pack all your eBay stuff in there. You see a lot of that as well. People just hire them out, and they're only like probably as big as like a wardrobe or a dresser, and a couple 2 or 3 meters deep back. but it's enough to put your stuff, and they only cost you $45 a month. Then you can go on to the bigger ones that are the garage sale or car size or double car size and so forth. So you can use that as your base of where you operate your business, and then when eBay sellers buy off you and opt for the local shipping, then they can go to the storage shed that you've hired out for $50 to $100 a month, and you can meet them at a certain time, or you can say, look, this is the time. I'll be there from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. every day. That's only half a day, and if you want your stuff picked up, you have to come at those times. Outside those times, I'll be closed. Then you only have to work half a day, and then they can just come pick it up, and they're good to go. They pay you cash, they leave you good feedback, and then as you grow your eBay status of all these happy customers, then that's how you build your eBay business side of it. Okay, so eBay, like I said, is a whole new different ball game. It's a course in itself. I teach the importing side of it, but I do cover the selling and buying strategies when you're actually sourcing the product, and you can find more information at importingriches.com.